Welcome back to the Lions Roar podcast, where we talk about everything related to Calvary Baptist Academy and Hidden Treasures Preschool. Thanks for joining us today. We've got a very special episode. I've got 3 students with me today, and each of them has a story to tell, learn a little bit about some things going on at Calvary, and we're going to learn about some things that maybe aren't in the normal mainstream of the announcements all the time. And so we'll have a little bit of fun here. So I've got Ella, and I've got Julia, and I've got Noah. And Noah, we'll start with you. You're a senior, so today's a big day.
Oh, yeah.
Graduation.
I'm excited.
Yeah, graduation. So you've had quite a year. Just came off of senior trip. So tell us a little bit about senior trip. You and Ella are both seniors. You both went on senior trip. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, definitely the ride down there was debatable, but...
Debatable? What's that?
There were some instances where it was like, you know, if you question if you're still alive, but
okay.
It was a safe travels. That's all I can say. It was safe travels. So I know I picked the right driver every time. And
you picked the right driver. You weren't with me, man. What are you trying to say?
Nothing like that, but from what I could hear.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, I enjoyed senior trip. We got to do a lot of fun things. We got whitewater rafting. We had the zip lining, which that was probably my favorite.
Okay, I was going to ask you what's your favorite, so now I know.
Yeah, I got to do the Spider-Man pose.
There you go.
So good. I love that.
Yeah, zip lining in the Smoky Mountains.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty big deal. So you, Noah, did some unique things. The reason we had you on the show today was to talk a little bit about that. So you took some courses through a special class. Tell us a little bit about that. When did you start that, and where was that at?
So it was at the beginning of last year. So
your junior year?
Senior year.
Okay.
So it would have been the first semester of my senior year. I started out at GMCA, and it's an electrical course, but you had to start into a basic class for construction.
Is that GMCA? So that's Greater Michigan Construction Academy.
Yep.
All right. So they do trades programs.
Yep. They offer things like welding, construction, electrical, pipe fitting, instrument techs, bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
So.
And how often did you take those classes, and how'd that fit into your schedule? Like, how did that work?
So working with Calvary and GMCA, I was able to go in the morning from 7:30 to 9:30 every day during the work week, basically. Yep. So the school week. So 5 days a week, basically for the whole year. But the first semester, I took a core class, core construction, and we just learned basics of that.
How to use a tape measure?
Basically,
how not hit your thumb with a hammer.
Exactly.
Like some just basic skills.
Oh, yeah.
Basic construction skills.
Yep.
And how many students are in that course, roughly?
So in my class that we had, it was about 20 students. Some of them were from Meridian and other schools, but yeah. I was like the only one from my school. So.
Sure. But there's 20-some students from across the area.
Yeah.
And, Calvary worked with you to make it fit your schedule. So you came into school about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and joined the rest of the school day and adjusted things. And then where did you go from there? So you took the general course, then you get to kind of specialize, kind of pick?
Yeah, so after you finish the core class, basically just safety and stuff for construction, then you get to go on to pick what course you want to take, and if they have enough students for it, then you can take that course.
What were some of the options?
So we had construction, so carpentry, and then electrical, of course, that's what I ended up taking.
Okay.
And then I believe there was welding as well.
Welding?
Yeah.
Okay. And so I know you took it for the 1 year. We've had students take it for a couple of years. Do you know if you take it each semester, what kind of outcome is there? Is there certification? What do you receive?
Yeah, so I know for this year it counted towards my final grades, like for Calvary and stuff.
Sure, of course. So you get credit for the class.
Yep.
Goes on your transcript and whatnot. But did the GMCA give you any kind of certifications that you could use in the workplace?
Yeah, so they're accredited through NCCER. It's like a whole learning system that they work with. It's basically like BJU's kind of stuff that you would get from Calvary.
Okay.
So it's like a bunch of education, and then you get certified through them. They got a bunch of certificates. I got a whole thing on my phone with all the...
Yeah, what are some of those certificates you earned?
So especially through electrical, I have a certification in, what was it called? It's just like each lesson you learn each chapter.
Okay.
So like bending conduit, you got
Okay.
certified in doing that. Just basic electrical, safety, bunch of other stuff.
So if you were to try to go get a job with an electrician as an assistant or helping in some way, you could show you've got some skills.
Exactly. And I
Okay.
could show them the grade that resulted from that course.
Nice.
So.
And I know that that's a national construction certification, so it's not just in Michigan, but anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Nice. And so did you get a job out of this? What are you looking to do with it now, like as we get into summer and in your future? What are you looking at?
So I applied at Valley Electric back in April. I'm hoping they'll contact me here soon. So if anyone's listening, I'm waiting.
All right.
But yeah, I'm hoping for a call, and hopefully this summer I'll get started into an apprenticeship. But
So what does an apprenticeship look like? How long are apprenticeship programs in electrical work?
so that's the down part of this. When you start out at the beginning, you gotta start low and pretty low. But once you get into the system and start working, then you start going up. But I have to have probably 2,000 hours
Okay.
before I can actually jump up to like a journeyman or anything like that.
Nice.
So
this gave you a taste of it. You found out you liked it. You got some certifications, and now it's turning into potentially a career opportunity. We'll see.
exactly. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, good. Yeah, I think it's good for our school community to know that this is an option that's out there through GMCA, and to know that the school works with the students. You know, you're not the first one. We've had a handful of students go through the different programs. We've had some go through welding and I think HVAC, different things like that. But just those hands-on skills.
Yeah.
So very cool. And then over here, we've got a couple of young ladies. We've got Julia, who's a junior, and we'll come back to you, Julia. We're gonna talk to Ella for a minute, another senior. So you looking forward to graduation tonight, Ella?
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are? All right. Tell us, Ella, where are you from?
I'm from South Korea.
South Korea.
Yep.
So how did you and when did you come to Calvary? Tell us that story, like how you found Calvary and...
Well, I honestly don't know how my parents found Calvary,
Okay.
and then I came here, and this is my 5th year at CBA, and
So you came in 8th grade
yeah,
as an 8th grade
grade.
student
Yeah.
to Calvary. But you don't know how your parents found our school, huh?
well, I haven't asked.
Okay. So they just shipped you over here and tell us a little bit about the experience of that first week, that first showing up at a new school in a new country and new everything.
Well, it was definitely like overwhelming, and the only thing I remember was like, I don't know anything, and the language was like hard part,
I'm sure.
and yeah, that's all I remember for 8th
Yeah.
grader.
What was some of the biggest challenges that first year as an 8th grader? Like once you got here over the initial like culture shock,
Well, probably the language barrier.
for sure.
Yeah, and then just different environment from Korea.
So what are some of the big differences, would you say?
Well, like school?
Yeah,
Or-
school, culture.
Like in Korea, like school is like really like academic based, like really like just academic focus, like study. But here, I feel like there's like more opportunity to do like sports or like choir, like it's
Yeah.
more like relaxed, and I really liked it.
That's kind of funny, right? You got some of your classmates here, and probably one of the things that sometimes people say about Calvary is that the academics are pretty intense. And for you coming from South Korea, saying that they're less intense than in South Korea and that it's more relaxed, I think that would be surprising to probably some of your classmates that think it's pretty intense around here kind of a thing. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't really easy, but like compared to
Well, of course, with the language barrier, it's going to make
Yeah.
everything even more challenging. What would you say are some of the things you missed from South Korea now that you've been here for 5 years? When you go back home, what do you look forward to?
well, definitely my friends and family.
Sure.
I think that's the biggest thing. And
What things outside of people? Like, are there any foods or activities or
the
sites?
food, and I miss city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where you live in South Korea is a bigger city a little bit.
Yeah, I live in Seoul, so
Oh,
it's pretty big
Seoul,
city.
I think that's a little bigger. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
It's big.
So transportation's quite a bit different than in Seoul.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more traffic. You probably use the
Subway
Subway.
and bus instead of car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you live in a home or an apartment?
We live in an apartment.
And what floor?
8th.
Okay. And how many floors are there in your apartment?
I think 15.
Okay. So yeah, there's not too many 15-story buildings in Midland.
Mm-mm.
And,
Wait,
and
well, I don't know.
and
Is there?
No.
Okay.
And a 15-story building in Seoul, in Seoul, Korea is not a very big building even, you know.
It's small.
Yeah. So that's interesting. What foods do you miss?
Well, there's one food called tteokbokki, which is my favorite food.
Okay. What is it? What is in that dish?
It's like a rice cake with like spicy sauce and just a bunch of other stuff.
Bunch of other stuff. Like it's like the Colonel Sanders secret spices, right?
Well, it just depends what you like. So.
Yeah. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
What do you miss from America when you go to South Korea? What do you think food-wise or otherwise?
Well,
Obviously, your friends. I know you're gonna say my
right,
friends.
yeah.
But what do you miss that you get here that you can't get there now?
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke. They don't have Diet Coke in Korea?
We don't. We only have like Coke Zero or something like that.
Coke Zero.
I'm gonna miss Diet Coke so much.
They don't have any equivalent even, huh? When I was in Africa, they didn't have Diet Coke, but they had like, it was what was it called? Coca-Cola Light. That's what it was.
Oh.
Coca-Cola Light. It was, basically the same idea as Diet Coke.
Yeah.
So Diet Coke. Do they have other diet drinks or just no diet drinks at all?
I haven't seen any diet drinks.
Okay.
Only zeros.
There's maybe because there's more Americans that are overweight than there are Koreans or something, right?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's probably part of it. So nice. So your brother showed up here, and you both are graduating together.
Yeah.
Your brother came a year after you did?
Yeah.
And how's it been to be at school with your brother in the same class and from South Korea?
Well, it's definitely like I would have never thought I would be graduating with him, but I'm kind of glad that he's with me and less lonely.
Got to share this experience together?
Yeah. Really happy.
Yeah. And how often do you communicate with mom and dad?
Almost every day we FaceTime.
Okay, that's nice. Mm-hmm. And when you think about this experience, are you glad you came to America for your studies, or
oh yeah,
do you feel like you wish you would have, you missed some things back home? Like, where are you on that thought?
Well, I miss sometimes like holidays or when I'm like birthdays or graduation. Like I wish I was in Korea, but I chose to be here. So
yeah. Well, we're glad you're here. We're glad your brother's here. And, we've had international students for about 15 years now. We've had international students in the school. And some years there's more, some years there's less. But tell me a little bit about what it's like getting to know your host families and what that experience is like, being in somebody else's house and whatnot. And what's the good and the bad there. If there's people out there that are considering being a host family, what would you tell them?
Well, it was definitely like difficult, because it's not my home, but I don't know. They were like really welcoming and just they're really sweet.
Do you feel like you've had good relationships? You made good friends, and you have people that support you.
Yeah,
and,
they're really supportive and just try to help me out. And
I think the families out there, if they've ever thought about it or consider they have the space or whatnot, I think it's a worthwhile experience to host an international student. And I think it helps our student body too. I think it's good for our kids to meet kids from other countries and learn about different cultures, and kind of expands their world. We've had some of our students in the past years even travel to other places. We had a student from Vietnam, and so some of his friends went to Vietnam and visited him after they graduated. And we've had students from Thailand, and similar type things happened. And so, our world gets a little bigger than our little bubble here.
Yeah.
When we recognize that there's young people from around the world in our school. So it's a neat program. We're glad you guys are here. We're sad to see you graduate. But what's your plans after graduation here? What are you going to do this summer and next year?
I'm going back to Korea for summer, and I'm coming back here for college, which I'm attending Michigan State University.
Oh man, I know. I'm sorry to hear that. No, I'm teasing. I'm proud of you.
I tried.
I'm proud of you. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a big U of M fan, so it's just teasing. It's a great school. Michigan State is. I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you. I'll even cheer for you being there. You know, it's just a little teasing there. You know what you're going to study?
Well, I don't know what major yet,
Okay.
but I want to study in like medical field.
Okay.
So I thought about like kinesiology or chemistry.
Okay.
But I haven't decided yet.
You
It's
haven't finalized
hard.
that yet. Okay. Well, very good. I'm sure you're going to do great.
Thanks.
Well, good. Well, and then we've got Julia here. Julia is the non-senior.
Yep.
So you're almost going to be a senior soon, but you're not graduating today.
Yeah.
So Julia, you were in robotics, in our robotics program. You know, is a big program. It goes from elementary school, actually, I think even preschool a little bit,
Yep.
all the way through the high school. When did you first get involved in robotics? What grade did you start?
I started in first grade.
First grade. And so you did. So that's I always get all the acronyms. There's the FLL and FRC and but that's the little Lego sets.
Yep,
that
that's FLL Junior.
She's got it all figured out. FLL, First Lego League Junior.
Yep.
And there's no real competition. That's more, they work together. There's a project and they learn how to build and how to code a little bit. They start the basic coding and then they move into First Lego League. Is that right? It's the next one. And what grades is First Lego League?
First Lego League is 3rd through 5th grade.
3rd through 5th grade. And that uses the Mindstorm. Is that the little?
So it used to be Mindstorm.
It used to be Mindstorm.
Yeah, so like when I was in it, it was Mindstorm, and now they've changed it to a new one called Spike, and it's a
Okay.
little bit smaller, and it's able to connect to Bluetooth a little bit better.
Is it still Legos though?
Yes, it's
Obviously
still
First Lego
Legos.
League. So
Yeah.
That makes sense. Just a different main unit that controls
Yeah.
all the sensors and everything like that.
Still using Legos, motors, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I remember when my kids were in that and figuring out what sensors do different things and
Yep.
to make the robot travel certain ways and pick up things and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of cool to see how much they learned so quickly. And then in junior high, you move into
FTC, which
So,
is First Tech Challenge.
the Tech Challenge. And that's the first time you're building this robot somewhat from scratch.
Yes.
And it's on a smaller scale. And that's where you also start, it changes because in the First Lego League, it's your team, you work on it, you program it to complete the task. We're now in competition, am I right? You're going to partner with other teams at some level.
Yes.
And so when you go to a competition, you work on your robot, but your robot has to also work with the other teammates that you
Yep.
are partnered with each round and stuff, which changes the dynamics quite a bit. That's where you get into partnerships and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
and cooperation and understanding the strength of another team versus yours and who's going to do what and during a particular round. And then, of course, you get to the upper level, which is what everyone knows about a lot more, which is the
FRC, which is First Robotics Competition.
the big one.
Yep.
And so, and in the first robotics competition, you build your robot. There are 2 competitions that you take place in
Yep.
to qualify you for state. And then if the team qualifies for the state, they go to state. And if they finish well there, they get invited to Worlds. And we've been invited to Worlds a few times over the years.
Yep.
And this last year was the highest ranking we ever had coming out of state. Is that right?
Yes.
And in fact, we had the team in the mid-Michigan area. We were the highest ranked team of all of the teams in the area. So
Yep.
that was pretty cool. That was a great season. And the reason you're here, Julia, is you're one of those robotics team members, but you had a pretty unique experience
Yeah.
and you won an award. Tell us a little bit about the award that you won. So you won the award first at a local competition
Yep.
at one of the regional or whatever they call it. And then you get moved to state and then you won the award at state. We'll find out what award it is here in a minute.
Yes.
And then that qualified you to go to nationals and then you actually won at nationals.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about this award and what it's called and what it's about.
Yeah, so this award is called the Leadership Award, and it basically celebrates students who embody FIRST characteristics. So FIRST is the program that we do all of our robotics through, and FIRST characteristics basically include gracious professionalism, always being kind to others, always being willing to lend a hand, always being willing to show up for others and show just kindness to others, but also having technical skills. Like I do a lot on our build team. I do a lot with our electronics, but I also do a lot with our outreach as well. So kind of just embodying every form of that.
Okay. What are some of the things that the team did and where you had opportunities to show leadership? Because I know a lot of people think of robotics. We talked about the competition. So you build this robot, you go compete, and then you win competitions. But what else has our robotics team done within the community and within the school to kind of give and serve?
Yeah, so one of our biggest things that we do is our robotics camp for 3rd through 5th graders in the summer, which, by the way, is coming up. So if you want to sign your kids up for that, it's a lot of fun for them. But they learn with the FLL Junior and FLL kits, so we teach them their basic robotics skills. We introduce them to that level. And then we also collabed with our Midland Fire Department.
So before we go to that, let me highlight. So you, as a high school student, help coach and teach the younger groups.
Yes.
So I know you, Julia, did a lot of organizing with the preschoolers this year and organizing those teams and leading some of those teams. And then your group also comes in, not just during the school year, but in the summer to run the CCC robotics camp that you just talked about.
Yep.
So, you're giving back to our school. And so that's awesome. And now you're talking about community outreach with the fire department that happened a year ago or so.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that project.
So we wanted some safety in our program, and we thought what better way is to go to our Midland Fire Department. And so they gave us some safety tips. They taught us how to use a fire extinguisher, what to do when there's a fire in the building. And then
Stop, drop, and roll.
Yes. And then we gave them a demo robot in exchange that would kind of look like a robot that they would send into a building after a fire has happened.
Okay. So this was during Fire Prevention Week.
Yes.
And so it was kind of a neat opportunity to build a robot, not for a competition, but for a real world task, a robot that would go in and, if I understand correctly, after a fire, it could take a camera in to see what's going on, drop markers to leave for evidence markers of, things that had happened or places to mark some event that took place during the fire that they could see through the cameras and such. And so, but it doesn't have to risk the life of a fireman going into a place that may be less than safe. So the robot can go do that is the idea, right?
Yep, exactly.
So, very cool. And so those are some things. And you were a part of that. And I know that at every event, so whenever there's a regional event, there's about 40 teams that come together.
Yep.
And each of those teams basically recommends somebody, nominates somebody for the leadership award that you were given.
Yep.
And at least one, and sometimes two. Is that right? Like,
yes,
depends on the team and how many they nominate. So up to 80 are nominated for an event. So to be selected after all of those teams have nominated is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And then when you go off to state, how many move to the state level from those regionals then?
So there was 116, I believe, that were at the Michigan one.
Yeah.
Michigan's one of the biggest, so it's actually one of the hardest to win at the state level as well.
Yeah.
So they pick about half of those to go to Worlds.
Very cool. And so how many, so when you kind of like do the math, I did the math at one point, I don't remember, but there's multiple thousands of students across the country in all the robotics programs and all the robotics competitions that are nominated, and it gets whittled down to 10 out of those thousands that get selected as a national winner. So I want everyone to know that Julia was selected out of all those thousands. It's a big deal, Our schools, had some people accomplish some things and were they're pretty cool. But this is a national recognition. A very small percentage of students each year are recognized for their leadership in that way. And it says a lot about your leadership in the robotics program. It says a lot about the leadership of the whole team working together and all those things that were accomplished. And quite frankly, it says a lot in your situation about your parents, because your mom and dad kind of run the robotics program over the years. And so, they've really put in a lot of hours and time to make that work and organize everything. So I'm sure they're super proud that you had that opportunity and that you were chosen. And, there's some people sometimes think certain things. Maybe somebody might say, well, it's because it's her parents, she got nominated, which may or may not be true. I don't believe it's true. I know how much work you've done. But even if that's true, the nomination doesn't get you a national selection.
Yeah.
So I just want you to know that I'm aware that this is something that you've worked hard for and that you deserve. And it's nothing to do with my mom or dad being the coach or anything like that. That the people that chose at the national level have no idea about those details. And so that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
So, yeah, just want to highlight some of our students and give opportunity to learn about some of the maybe lesser known programs, the GMAC, our international students, and even our robotics, which has been getting more notoriety lately because of their success. But still maybe not as many people know about it because a lot of people come out to a soccer game or a basketball game, but most people don't come out to a robotics competition as much. So maybe someday, we'll get a little bigger crowd. But I'm thankful for all these programs. I'm thankful for you, Ella, coming to our school, and your brother and all of our international students. I'm excited to see what God has for you in the future. And, many of our students that have maybe some skill sets that don't match the university track, but want to go into trades and stuff, just letting families know out there that those opportunities are in our community for them to get started even in high school and figure out if there's maybe a good pathway there. And of course, I think robotics has helped a lot of our students. Some of them are athletes and some of them are intellectual students that do well in the classroom and such, but some of them, that's maybe not the place where they shine, but in robotics, they can get hands-on in a different way and find success there and have a lot of fun doing it and figure out a career even. So if you're watching and you're a parent, you're a student, or just someone who's maybe an observer of what's going on at Calvary, hopefully you've learned a little bit about some of these programs and some of our students. And we're looking forward to talking to you again soon on the Lions Roar podcast. As I say most every time, like and subscribe so you get notified when a new episode is released. We're going to be talking here in the near future with our Teachers of the Year. Those will be announced. We've got some other episodes coming just around the corner. So even through the summer, be watching for new content and learning more about what's going on at Calvary Baptist Academy. Have a great day.